5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Muchas gracias, mi hermano. ¿Qué pasa? Mi hermano, ¿qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa, mi
Okay.
amigo?
Alright,
Muy
let's
bueno.
try it this way. Hola, honor and glory, we give thanks. The joy is inside the studio, UTM Radio. We have the experience of a lifetime. There are opportunities that we experience in life, and sometimes we take it for granted. But many things have a divine ordinance to it, balance and understanding. When we were young, we look at life one way. As we grow older, we see how time changes everything. One thing is for certain, life offers us all the opportunity of a lifetime to be in sync, to be willing to work together. Even more so is the opportunity to express solidarity in whatever approach. Once again, I have to acknowledge Gunnar G right here at UTM Radio, particularly for his vision. But I also acknowledge our guest also inside the studio is the man Iva, the one known as the Dubsmith. So, Dubsmith, welcome aboard.
Hey, look, Timmy, what you say, my king?
We say give thanks and praise to the Most High for life, health, and strength. That being the case, it is a joy to have you inside the studio, man. I
Good to
mean,
be here, fam.
you have been involved, I have been involved with music for a number of years. Then for you to be really in a state-of-the-art technological environment, you have been doing this for a number of years, so welcome to the studio, UTM Radio. How you feeling?
It's good to be up here in the spaceship, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna blast off style, all the while.
Yeah, the interplanetary spaceship. The other thing that is crucial for this scenario is that we are artists. And Ivor, you're an artist, man. You've been dealing with art for a lot of time, a lot of years.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, I guess I think of it as life, like the creative force. It's really a blessing. Just to be able to create things, or even have the drive. Sometimes, I mean, I have friends, man. I have a friend. He's a doctor. Dude can really play, but he's a doctor, and being a doctor took away from his playing, so we kind of stopped. But then I know a lady, and she's a doctor, but she's like, yeah, I love being a doctor. I love healing people and helping people, but I gotta create because I'm not the same person if I don't create. So I hear these people talk. That kind of makes me realize I'm not doing anything wrong. Like the eye. I mean, the eye showed me years and years ago. I was a drummer for probably most of my life, and the eye came along and was like, well, let me show you a little bit of bass line, and man. Talk about what a difference a day makes.
Well, my brother, you're being modest because actually you illustrated an interest in the instrument, the sound of the bass, but then the rudiments of it all. I, being a student of music for a number of years, from public school to 2 years in a university, as well as being on stage, I've had a lot of indication of creative juices being manifested in various forms, because by being an artist and a musician, not only do we get a time to express our talents, what I find most important is that there's somewhere down the line we're inspiring someone else to do what we do. Or I have met through the years someone saying, I've always wanted to do that. So I play a lot of instruments, and I find that playing instruments brings in the attention of the onlooker. But also within the younger years, when I first got my transistor radio, I was always fascinated with the sound of radio. What was going on behind the speakers, or how was it going on? And then I became aware of radio stations where studios, and you could really reason with the artist or hear the artist in a different aspect. But then there's the additional magical aspect of projecting sound out to the people, uplifting the listener, as I would say. And I give thanks to that because it's a local, national, international, even universal experience. In that comes the joy of being able to connect with others, not only on one level, but multi-levels.
Yeah.
And you, my friend, as you have been an artist as long as I've known you, I was educated in the fact that you were a multi-artist. So your art wouldn't just be in photography or painting, but it would be in other manifestations. And I appreciate the various manifestations I've seen that you exhibit in your creativity as an artist.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. You know, well, I look at kind of like I always say to you about it's like living, man. You know, Bruce Lee kind of led me on a path when I was younger of a lot of different things, and musically and artistically, it made me notice a man that was probably known to be the greatest martial artist in the world, and that was Miyamoto Musashi from Japan. And Miyamoto Musashi was a beautiful calligrapher and a beautiful painter, and he's a beautiful chef. Anything he did, washing dishes, it was an art, but it wasn't even an art, it's just life. How do we do what we do as we do? So I always tell people about, you know, people like, man, how do you play all these different like wind instruments? I'm like, well, I learned drumming, man, and I saw a movie one time, I think it was called Get On Up, about James Brown. And there's a part where James Brown says, Mr. Maceo Parker, sir, what's this instrument called? He's like, James, saxophone, man. Everybody knows the saxophone, James. And he's like, nah, you're wrong. How am I wrong, James? It's a drum. How's it a drum, James? Give me one. Now give me two. Bam, bam. And so forth. That concept hit me like, not just a ton of bricks, all the bricks, you know what I mean? My brain was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get me a saxophone, I'm gonna get me a trumpet, I'm gonna get me some scuba gear. I don't know why, but just the idea.
That's
you know,
when you realized everything was on the one.
Everything was on the one. Yes, that's got your G. That's exactly, yeah.
That blew my mind too, and I was like, oh. But it was like, when I heard it was like, the key don't change. That's what I heard. It was like, the key don't change, no matter what you playing. If you play I was like, what do you mean? It's like, if you're playing this, it goes this. If you're playing the guitar, it goes. And I got it. I was like, oh. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't play nothing. But
as far as you know, but you know.
I have a friend that Timothy, I can play the xylophone. He think that's my hidden gift.
That's my point. Sometimes you never know. It might be there, you know.
But I get it. You was like, damn, everything is on the one. It's all on the one. Yeah.
Yeah, or beats. Like, you know, I look at Eminem, people are like, why do you think he's a good drummer? You've never seen him play drums. I'm like, it's right here, I'm like,
right.
Yeah, that whole, you know, rhyming is a drum. That's what makes certain people amazing. When you see, you know, like even a Khan on Fuji's, Fuji La, where he's like, come Mr. Martin, tell him to make a coffin. Just the way he's, you know, dancing along with the beat is huge to me. So I'm really big on the idea of drums or anything. All art is one thing, really, is how I look at it.
But there's also the application of various ideas. And one of the remarkable moments in life is the reality or the recognition of one's accomplishment. You know, so I've learned through my experiences throughout my life that dreams do come true.
Mm.
Sometimes you're on the sideline and you wish you could do this or you wish you could do that. And then sometimes we admire what others do. Wow, man, how you do that? I always wanted to do that. And I've learned in my life, you can actually do anything you want to do. So your mind is very powerful, yes, but in so many ways that we ignore, because your mind spurs activity. Sometimes when we study, you know, hieroglyphics and the ancient ones, we come to this reality. Oh yeah, this has been going on for centuries. But some things are viewed from afar. And then there are some things that we have a close association with. Like if you plant a seed and watch it grow. by watering the plant on a continuous basis. And so you start seeing things from the farmer's point of view now.
Yeah.
You know? But in addition to the farmer's point of view, now you're seeing things from the elder's point of view. Because this is ancient. This is anciency. And for that reality to hit one in center of his or her mind's eye and realize this is the light. We all have this. And so I know the value of what I say can be felt on so many terms of awareness. One is love. We talk about love, but in a society based on abuse through the years, a lot of people get lost, that they don't really know what love is. But anytime you can think about someone in a good sense, a positive aspiration, that's an act of love.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, we have learned the art of love is to carry this energy with us consistently. This was revealed to us in elementary school when we used to jump on the desk.
Banging desks.
But then it was a release. It was a communication amongst brothers, but certainly it was a communication of a unique experience of making a beat on the desk. But then it's something that's carried through time, because once I realized I could make a beat, man, that got me into music. That made me want to learn other instruments. In addition, made me want to learn bass. It made me want to learn how to play drums. But I'm thankful that I became an artist and a musician, because I come to realize years later, this is my saving grace. This is our saving grace, to be able to be creative, particularly in these days and times when racism has reared its ugly head again, or the separatist has interfered with the flow of energy. And we're talking about cosmic existence beyond man's computation. Give thanks that the word is, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, but sometimes we forget to remember, hey, we're right here, right now, and that to me is the emphasis of being at UTM Radio for me. I love being within a mindset of creativity, but also appreciation. The two have energies associated that a lot of times we forget. A lot of the younger generation today have forgotten to be kind and gracious to their own family members, mom and pop and grandpa. So the joy of good energy, when it's shared, when it's intentionally given, magic occurs. It's just like you having an inspiration as an artist, as a musician, to play something on public transportation. So somebody's sitting in there riding along and they hear somebody play an instrument in the background. And it's not abusive, it's not disturbing.
Yeah.
You're an artist, so you might have the ability to start from a low volume and someone tells you, that sounds good. Those things are encouraging, aren't they?
They are, man. I've been on it one day. There was two sisters. One sister had a taser, the other sister had an ace, and they were ready to do things on the L. And I just was like, well, here I am with this big annoying Turkish flute, so I'm gonna Sufi in your face. And they were like, you ruining the moment. I'm like, that was my, utter intention, you know?
And that's the point that I'm making, because the truth of the matter is that's power in the right hands. Some people can be very abusive in their display, but then there are others who can be artistic in their unique display.
Create gentleness
and purpose, And so I give thanks years later, knowing you as an artist and a musician myself, having played with you numerous times on many stages,
different situations,
in different configurations, and knowing you as a producer also, it is a joy to sit and reason with you, particularly with knowledge of those out there listening to the program. Who knows who might be inspired as a result of this reasoning, this conversation. It is informative, but it's also an acknowledgement of reality. We're fortunate to see each other across time and space through the years, and we're still creative with a joy. And yes, people, I have a real honor of being with this man, Leroy Basket, aka Iva, aka the Dubsmith. I appreciate your energies, and I give thanks that You are creatively involved in our world, even on a larger scale, because people he is a recorded artist. We definitely look forward to a continued experience within this musical field of technology. I love being right here at UTM Radio. Isn't it a great studio?
Absolutely, man. Well, I, a lot of my recent stuff was highly blessed.
Respect King.
And every time I was inspired by one Gunner G and some of the stuff he was doing. So, you told me, you showed me some stuff, and I got to look around the whole Gunner geology, I'm like, a thing going on there, and I'm getting in, I'm doing my own. Because I'm glad you got to hear some of the things, but that was your inspiration, man. I'm thankful. I meant to say I'm thankful to you, Gunner G, for such little things. Just, in life we all gotta look at each other sometime, and that's my thing. I was looking at my man here earlier with the trumpet, and I'm like, I want to invite him to a Rotunda Wednesdays. I don't know what you do on a Wednesday, but usually 12 o'clock, we play like free-form music, like jazz, all kind of instruments. I mean, we got drums there and all kind of stuff, and both y'all are free. And I heard you say you don't really play. I'm like, that's maybe an opinion. Gunner G, how that? I get you on the drum set, you Gunner G.
That's what I said, give me the
Yeah, exactly, man. See that? That's the timing. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna get one of them when I'm surprised his ass. I'm gonna have that. I will have it.
Listen, people, let's bring you in on this here fun part, because it's good to experience fun in times of trouble, in times of challenge. You have this reasoning with those who have known each other for a number of years, who remain in tune to their talent, their capability, their blessing. We are blessed to have respect for one another. We are blessed to see each other year after year after year with the same respect that we had yesteryear. But we're also blessed to be in a house of such magnificent energy, and that's right here at UTM Radio Studios. I'm always honored, Gunner G, to be in the house, in the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna segue. It's been a joy to reason with you, my brother.
Man, I appreciate you giving me a moment to come in here and vibe with everybody, reading Gunner G, and just vibe up in here at UTM Radio. And it was a long time coming. I feel blessed being up in here, man. And thank y'all for making me feel welcome and at home.
You are welcome. And before we segue into something different, I want to say to the listener, we appreciate your listenership right here at UTM Radio. We can't say it enough, and in fact, maybe it's not said enough. But we give thanks for your listenership. And in my case, I would say I thank you for a lot of people letting me know that you do listen to this frequency. And we give thanks for that. What do you mean? Gunner G, what do you say? And so he says, we do give thanks for that heartily. Truly, we can't say thank you enough for all of you tuning in, listening in, but it's also the joy of doing what we do. It is a joy to have reasoned with you,
Yes, I am.
particularly in the studio, and that's another experience. But it's also a joy to have been recording with you. And I'm amazed at your ability to continue to record artists, produce track after track after track. I mean, as a matter of fact, track after track. I say to you respectfully and joyfully, we have been featuring two artists that we have discussed over the years how much we love their output, and that is Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare. Now, we also show respect and honor to Robbie Shakespeare because the physical form is no longer here. But artistically, and particularly with the memory factor of the technology, I'm glad that we can pull back and listen to the track again and show some respect and honor to Sly and Robbie. So people, we want you to sit tight and listen keenly to another little Iggy
Yeah, one quick.
that goes like this.
I just want to send a shout out to Father G out in Asagaya, Tokyo. Hail Cool Dread Bar, Asagaya, Tokyo. And Riri Joji Ryoko, my wifey, my friend, my Tokyoologist,
Wonderful.
Awesome.
In the meantime, what Jimmy here just says a groovy time. We're gonna come in with some music. People, put your headphones on. This one's for you.